listens. At least when Nima speaks, the world listens.
Come on, speak on it. I love it. When we speak, the world listens. Absolutely. You're welcome to Women Reading at 1.7 FM, the voice of women. Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. My name is Olufumilayo Bangbala.
And my name is Hassan.
Yes, yes, yes. And this is HerLens this morning on Women Reading 91.7. We have the ladies of HerLens already joining us. Hi, Susan. Hi, Bukola. Good morning.
Good morning, Fumi. Good morning, Naima. Good morning, Mambuki. Good morning, HerLens family. It's a beautiful, brand new week. And yeah, I'm grateful. Good to be here.
Okay. All right. What about you, Buki? How are you? We missed you all through last week. How are you?
I am fine. I hope my voice is clear. It looks
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, and I did also miss everyone. I miss you. I miss Susan. I miss Stephen Above. And I miss hey, you don't catch me. Please remind me now. Your co-anchor. Nima. Yes, and then Alan's family. But it was worth the while for 1 week, training. And truly, even when you're training, you are also learning on the same thing, because it's a double coin. You get to hear what the participants are also saying. They come from their wealth of experience, so you get to hear what they're saying as well. And you are also fulfilled that you're also impacting in their lives. And it was good. And I want to thank God. So, Susan, how are you as well?
I'm fine. Thank you, Mom. Good to see you again.
Okay. Let's get into it this morning. I'm going to start with the first one. And this one is really, really sad. The young lady who lost her life. So we have, what's her name? Trying to remember her name. But let me open the page actually.
Her name is Favor.
20-year-old Nigerian lady who committed suicide after a popular TikToker, Odogu of Asaba, tricked her to come and meet him in an hotel that he wants to teach her how to make money online. But then he raped her, so she committed suicide because she believed that she would never get justice because the rapist is popular and has money. And I'm almost convinced to say, is she right? Because right now we're not seeing anything happening, no justice, no conviction. He's been arrested, yes, but all we saw was he was standing next to the parents and was begging them in the videos that circulated last week. And I was like, are you people going to allow your daughter to die because of this? I think the police, the parents even said they're not, no, I'm mixing them up with the nurse. I think I'm mixing them up with the nurse. Habila, whose parents said they're not, I'm too many stories like this that are so sad and heartbreaking. I'm now beginning to mix them up. But for this young lady, we haven't even seen anything that has come out of this. Please, let these parents not allow this girl die. And then, first of all, we do not stand for rape, any gender-based violence of any form, shape, or fashion. Number one. Number two, we don't stand with suicide over here at Women Radio. I know that it is, but by the time somebody says, oh, they want to take their life, they feel like there is no hope again.
Desperation.
But there is hope. I don't even think it's desperation. It's helplessness that they feel. Because for you to want to take your life is that you feel like, because that's what she said, that she didn't think that any justice was going to be gotten because the guy is popular. And because we live in a country like Nigeria, we know that most times people who are influential, popular, typically get away with, in this case, maybe murder and rape, and we're calling upon the government, the police command that no, this guy must go. We're not negotiating with this kind of thing. It's really, really sad. Last week Friday, we had a conversation on social media and how social media has turned people into walking disasters. I don't even know. I'm not sure that disaster is the word, because this young lady went to meet this man because she figured, do you know what? I'm going to be able to make money online, maybe even get popular as well. Please, if you're a young person who's listening to us, there are 1,000,001 legitimate ways to make money. It might not be the fast money that you're looking for, but first of all, you should not be looking for fast money in the first instance. There's dignity in labor. So whatever it is that you need to do to find to with that 5K you're collecting, at least is money that you worked for. Collect it. Don't be swayed by what you see online. I know that social media can be can be intoxicating and can make you feel like you are not doing anything with your life, but social media is not a real place. It's not, because this man that you saw on social media that you thought was maybe someone respected tells you to come
The
to the
girl said
hotel.
it now.
Yeah,
That because he is a popular figure, she felt she
exactly.
was safe.
No, it's not by like that. It's not by like that. But we're gonna allow the ladies. Nima, do you want to say anything before we allow the ladies to speak?
No, please, let's move on.
Okay, so Susan, what say you on this really, really, really heartbreaking, sad matter?
Fumi, thank you so much. Again, our heart goes out to the parents of this young lady, because no matter how we dissect or discuss this, it is only for those who are alive. This young lady is gone and gone forever. So our heart goes out to Favor, our brother's family. And it's important, even the Habila case and every other case, it's important that we are reminded that for every headline, there are real people. For every statistic, for every person who is numbered, there's this family that is grieving and their lives are changed forever. If you saw the pictures, you would see how dumbfounded. Favor is a twin. She has a twin sister. The twin sister was heartbroken, even while the guy was begging and everything. She was just staring into space. I followed it because I'm a gender advocate, a very rugged one. And access to justice is one important thing for me. Now, there is something we need to, first of all, establish, whether someone is popular, influential, admired or anything. Allegations of sexual violence deserves to be taken seriously and investigated thoroughly. And it's also important that, our justice system shows fairness, evidence and even due process, not just a social media trial, because I followed up the case from the first person who brought it out. She had been buried already since June, but someone just raised the case last week. So there are salient questions we need to ask ourselves, and this is what should drive our conversation. Why do so many a decade of working within the gender space? Why do survivors state, and why is it that young women are often blamed before they are even believed? I read so many things. People were asking about hotel and all of that. If you ask Mambuki, for every trip she goes, she will have to stay in a hotel except she has a family. Going to a hotel does not necessarily mean that that person is open to such. I have traveled to different states and I have had to stay in a hotel. Even if someone, and I need to state it clearly, even based on the law, because I had to read through to be sure that once you walk into a room with someone, I am giving the person go ahead. It doesn't mean that. We should learn to disabuse our minds of so many things that, why she find and go with this, why that. No, we should stop all of those things. They are not good. Now, why does power, influence and promise of opportunities, because Fumi, you just said it now, why do they create situations where people feel unable to speak up or say no? Why? If she had spoken up, trust me, she might still be here. But it had taken time. She had complications, she had infections that were being treated even before I read the charts for them. Fumi was exposed. The person who was in contact with the family who brought it brought out the chat. She was asking for money for treatment. And he vehemently refused and even told her that if she speaks up, he is influential, nothing will happen. Those were his words. So we also need to reflect on the culture we are building, both offline and online. We have said it severally on HerLens. Social media has created incredible opportunities. That is why I can be in Abuja and still analyze issues. I mean, the studio is not here in Abuja where I live. So it creates opportunities to connect with people. But it has also blurred boundaries. We must be factual. It has blurred boundaries. It has normalized unhealthy power dynamics. For every time there's an issue of gender-based violence, Fumi, trust me, it shows power dynamics at play. And it has also encouraged people to chase validation at all costs, because you are seeing someone you are looking up to, you don't know what they do. It is only when they set their cameras, it's just like people who act movies. You have a script you want to play. Whenever I want to speak about something, there's something in my head I want to speak about. And that is what every young person listening to us should know. It's not about who is influential or anything. It is not about that. And again, it's important that we know that it is not a one cap fits all, Fumi. What are parents doing? What are mentors and guardians doing? This is very important because, having honest conversations with young people about consent, healthy relationships, and personal safety is key. As a young lady, I was looking at myself as, if they grab me like this, I no fit run. So throughout, even though social media was not a thing like this when I was in my 20s and 30s, what
Susan, we can't hear you any longer. We are having network issues. Since we can't hear Susan, I think we're just going to move on.
Meeting. Now who they are like eating. And hello.
Hi, Susan.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Susan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Now we can hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. So I talked about, because again, we talk about collaboration, partnership. It is not a one person. Parents, mentors, and guardians must have honest conversations with people. Your safety is key. Healthy relationships and what consent is. No means no for me. I need to state it clearly that even if I am with a man in this room and we start kissing and I say no, no means no. If you go against that no, for me, you will be charged. I think we need to ring this loud and clear so people do not think that being in the same space has automatically given you, the power to do anything you want to do. And to content creators and public figures, it is important that you know that that particular influence you think you have comes with responsibility. People trust you. It is not for you to abuse those people. What you cannot do. And I don't know. Again, when people send friend requests to me, even on Facebook, I go to their wall and check through. If what you post does not align with my person, I will not accept that friend request. This guy speaks so low. He's always trash talking women. So what is this content creation that can only come from him? We should also be held accountable. We should also take accountability of the people we want to connect and learn with and learn from. There are other smaller people you wanted the big one. You could build slowly and move on, So for young women and men, it is important that, your dignity is not the price to pay for opportunity. We have heard it. It's not just because this one is coming for content creation. We've heard it where we hear, this so person, they select their way to get so role. And so, no, we should stop all of those. No career, no connection or promise is worth compromising your safety or your self-worth, because over time you'll be feeling less. you will keep feeling a sort of way. You keep feeling like, no, I'm not up to the standard. And even as society, let us stop asking, why didn't the person speak up sooner? Let us create communities where people will feel safe to speak up. Over the years, when I work with gender-based violence survivors and everything for me, people do not feel safe. And if you look at this young lady, she did not feel safe to speak up. She didn't. If she felt safe to speak up, I'm sure she won't be 6 feet below. This is a painful story, I agree. But for me, do you know that her parents were on the verge of accepting whatever the young man was going to give? Because I know the lawyer, humanitarian lawyer who took up the case. Like they were interested in taking the money because of the loan they had taken in trying to treat her, to see that they treat her and she recovers, but at the end of the day, she passed. This is telling me a lot of things that happened for me. It's a painful story, but justice should never depend on status, fame, or public opinion. Parents should fight for the justice of their own child, even though the child has passed. It will also serve as a deterrent, and it will give them closure. Even if someone, in one of the clips I watched, they claimed they needed 7 million to offset this bill for me. Can 7 million bring back this child? While you need money to offset that bill, I think justice should be paramount. And that is what we should be looking at. What poverty has done. Poverty has done more harm than good. We should improve our justice system. Even if it is anonymous, the CSOs who work in this space, are there anonymous lines? How aware are the people, the communities you serve? Because even in that particular state, there are NGOs that work around, justice to GBV and all of those things. How aware are these young people about the services that you provide? Because if she had faith that if I report, I will get justice, people will come to my aid. I'm not sure she will just pass like that. We should hold each other accountable for truth, accountability, and even our collective commitment to protecting human dignity. We should stop silencing survivors. Most time we keep asking. I hear people castigating her and saying the kind of skirt, the kind of top that she is wearing. Are you kidding me? When a man wears boxers, who complains? Have any woman ever come out to say, because a man is wearing boxers, he's luring me? So what are we saying? People were even doubting the fact that she was a virgin because they saw the video she made and what she was wearing. We need to start raising more awareness for me. I can go on and on and on, but for me, from my end, in conclusion, we need to build a society where no one is afraid to say no. No one is afraid to report abuse, and no one is condemned without a fair investigation. It is wrong. It is not just about typing behind your keypads and say, oh, the kind of clothes she's wearing, why did she do this? Why did she do that? Is that enough for that young lady to pass? Nigeria needs to do better, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. I mean, where you said the part of last year, one of the things I learned for myself last year was that no is a complete sentence. I don't need to over-explain myself. I don't need to tell you, oh, no. I mean, if somebody wants to borrow money from you, for instance, and then you say no, the reason why I'm saying no, there's no need for shalaye. No is no. Whatever sphere of influence, whatever situation it is, no is no. Same thing when it comes to the opposite gender. If I tell a man no, I don't need to tell. It doesn't matter what I am wearing, like what Suzanne said. It doesn't matter where I am, gone said. And I think, just to piggyback off what Suzanne has said, that whole conversation of why were you at a hotel, like, can you just shut up?
Just preconditioned to nonsense here.
No, like, can you actually just shut up? What do you mean by why are you in a hotel? When the car hailing apps had come into Nigeria, there were some funny situations where they said a particular woman, I saw it on the news, was reporting her neighbor and said, I see different men coming to come and pick her. And she was very, very uncomfortable with it and it was the landlady, and asked her to move. Guess what? It was not different men. it was a cab. It was different cabs that were coming to pick her up. And I think that mindset or that conditioning that you think that, I don't know, like if somebody's going to be bad, they're going to be bad. I don't need a hotel to do Iranu, if you're going to put it that way. I don't need different cars to come to my house to do Iranu. We need to disabuse ourselves of that mindset that Iranu or bad behavior can only happen within certain contexts. That's number one. Your dressing has no bearing on being attacked, on being raped, on being violently assaulted. Your dressing, 2 weeks ago, I think it was, that Nima said, I think it was Susan, I was saying that even people that are heavily covered.
I was the one who said it.
Yeah.
That
Fully
taking
covered.
an example, would you say it was my dressing?
Because you're fully covered.
Exactly.
The only thing we can see is not even your whole face. It's just like the visible part of your face and your hands. But then we've also seen women, hijabing women, fully covered women in burqas, the whole thing, who have been raped. Like, and the people that perpetrate this nonsense are women.
Yes.
Because it's one thing for men to say rubbish like this, but it's another thing for women to also say, Kilo.
She's a virgin. Is it up to you to say she is not?
What she was wearing. The girl
It's
is
not up to- She is.
And we need to, like, it's so sad. It is really so sad. Of course, like for me now, I'm very particular about my dressing because I'm just like, I don't even want wala for, maybe because of my background. And I'm like, I'm gonna be wearing this. It's my choice.
Yes.
That's my choice. If somebody decides, even if I feel sideways about how someone is dressed, that's their choice. That doesn't mean that how they're dressed, they called somebody to do that. Like can we just stop all this like you said, preconditioning that we have? Because again, we've seen time and time, we've seen people who were raped in their houses. We've seen people who were raped in their offices.
Recently, I was walking on the road and these guys were like, Alaja, 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 Alaja. I behaved like I didn't hear. But then they said Alaja, not even young girl, not Omoge, Alaja. So if I had said, it's 9 a.m.
I'm so tired. We're live on YouTube. Oh my gosh, at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go by our website www.wfm917.com. You can also text us, WhatsApp us on 0703 1756 537 or 8155917917. You can call us right now, 07000 917 917 or 9155 917 917 or 800 1235 917. We've seen people, corpses at the morgue who've been raped.
Yes, now.
So this thing, and again,
women.
I'm not excusing things. I'm just saying that we need to. You see, how they say that thing, the heart of the matter is the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter is that we have badly behaved men going up and down, wreaking havoc to people's lives, people that you even think are respectable men, like in the case of this man, and they are wrecking lives. At least in this case, the only reason why we even use it because the girl committed suicide. There are many women.
Let me give men a speech from the book in the Quran. Lower your gaze. Keep on with your eyes. If you feel any urge, if you are not married, go and get married. If you cannot get married, for God's sake, fast.
For me, if that case was not reported to a comrade, if the case was not reported to a comrade, it will not come out. If the case had not been reported to a comrade, Fumi, it would have gone down. It was because it was reported to an activist in the state. So he brought it out, because he's not afraid of the influence of the content creator. You understand? That is just the thing. If it was someone who was afraid of the content creator, trust me, Fumi, it would be swept under the carpet. And the guy did not deny sleeping with this girl. He didn't deny. Even when she had already told you before leaving her home that she is a virgin and she does not want to do anything. That is man seeing humanity to man. Haba.
All right, let's move on to Bukola because oh my God, I'm feeling. I'm a mom. My daughter is 8, and my daughter is really, really mature for her age, not just mentally, but even physically. And sometimes when we want to leave the house, I've looked at what she has won, like 1 million. I'm the one that told her what to wear, but I'm just like, like that's me. Because I'm just like, she's not wearing anything. She's wearing a t-shirt and a pair of jeans, and I'm already worried, about that. Like, oh, her being sexualized on the road, because we have crazos. That's my new word for them. We have crazos on the road, right? And it's just like uh, I think if you're a new mom, right, and you have little boys, the onus is on you, on us, to make sure that we're raising our boys different. Yeah, but Bookie, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I've had everyone, particularly the passion from Susan and the perspective that Susan brought on board. If we have to tackle this issue, everyone has to contribute. And who are this everyone? Susan has said quite a lot from the angle of the government. We need to have a place where you can speak up, even when you know you are a culprit, but somewhere along the line, you decided to say, you know what, you are not going on with this intimacy. Stop. And the person still continued. You have the right to go somewhere, to tender your case, right? That means that government has to set up apparatus that I can come there and I'll be heard. I will not be judged. And of course, the culprit will have to be what? Brought to book. Then we also need, in our curriculum, we also now need to begin to educate. It's a 360-degree that I see. We need to begin to educate from an early age. I love what Fumi said. Fumi said, if you're a mother of boys, you need to begin to put that value system in them at an early age so that they will know. So just in case someone wants to go off, the government is there to nap you. And it will be clear. The reason why a whole lot of people are not speaking, it is because they feel they cannot get justice. And that's the truth. Every state needs to have this continuous improvement system. This particular state that this happened now, they need to go back. And that's why I always challenge, the commissioners that are there for women affairs or social welfare. And I also challenge even the wives, wives because right now, in fact, virtually all our governors are men. So that's why I'm saying wives. They can actually set this thing up, facilitate it, ensure that these things work, that there is a safe place, right? And that you can actually talk. You can have an hotline, to talk about this, and they respond just like you call 119, and they quickly respond. They will come to you at that point in time because why you have called for help, and from there they take it up. Those are the systems that I see that we need to do. And also, we mentioned the issue of parents, grooming their men and their boys, for this, because it's very rampant. However, please hear me. We don't have to wait for the government. Look at what has happened now. This girl is lost. She's below 6 feet. If we continue to say, oh, let's create safe space, let's create this, let's create that, let's get that, the government might not be fast in doing that. Can we spare our children, particularly the girls? We are talking about the girls here now. I feel sorry for this girl. And I want to take my point one by one. I had her say she needed extra money because of family issues. She needed to step in for family issues. I do not know what it is. She's 20. I'm sure she just finished, what do you call it, a secondary school. And for me, I think she's not even streetwise. Probably she had been in the comfort zone of her parents, and in terms of so many things happening, she does not know how to wriggle out. But she's heard about people making money from content creation, online, this thing and all that. And she decided to reach out. Now, because of the things that are happening, can we begin to speak to our own girls? There is poverty everywhere, no doubt about it. She's concerned. I don't know what the issue is. Probably they don't have, they've always been having issues of rent. I do not know what it is, right? But she said to meet up with family, whatever. We do not pray that we are in a situation whereby that we begin to make our girls vulnerable. We do not pray. Things happen. But then I believe that we should begin to have family times where everybody begins to talk, to say, okay, how can we get this? How can we get this? Like she said, she spoke to her twin sister, but she did not tell her twin sister the details. That I flag off. Can we begin to raise families where these things are discussed openly? You listen, you do not judge, but then do not also put pressure on the children to go and look for money, right? Because I know a lot of parents in that category where you call that in terms of poverty level is very high. That, well, yes, we have trained you now, so go look for money. But even when you tell them to go look for money, guide them in the places, because we are talking about a 20-year-old person. I know somebody will say that even 23 now they're getting married, but then at their mental senses, is it right? That's what I'm saying. Not everybody is sharp to know what is happening, right? And then secondly, I want to beg. Let's raise our family in such a way that when you want to move out of your comfort zone, in fact, right now, I will tell my own children, anywhere you are going, just let somebody know, and that person also should be following up on you. You understand? To be following up on you. I mean, at the age of 18, we are responsible, right? But because of the things that are happening now, we need to have that safe net for our children. And then, of course, she decided, yes, I heard her when she said she had told the man that I'm a virgin. In fact, that for me had triggered it up, that he had been looking for an opportunity to disvirgin someone. And that made him to say, you know what, there's no problem. Just come, pay for her fares, right? Yes, there was intuition, because for her it was like, okay, hotel, what am I going to do in an hotel and all that? I also want to advise that when you have told someone, okay, you're going somewhere, there should be constant follow-up. What's happening now? What's happening now? What's happening now? You understand? So that at least, even if your own senses are shut down, somebody can quickly trigger to say, you know what, hey, but at the end of the day, everything still boils down with poverty, because I know she must have been saying that 50% of her mind will say that, if this thing is what I'm reading, that he will go and rape me, what's going to happen? But other sense will say that, no, now, I mean, this man will not do that, because she mentioned it. Content creator, he will not want to drag his name anymore. He will not do that. Okay, at least he has promised that he was going to give me the money. Why am I saying all this? I agree that the government, the society, we need to raise the bar. We need to do what is right. But in the meantime, we cannot make our girls vulnerable. We need to protect our girls. Particularly, I know I'm talking about families that are struggling. I know, I see, I feel. But at the same time, let us protect our girls. And then for the girls themselves, right? I'm not talking about dressing. I'm not talking about dressing, but I'm talking about you going outside of the boundaries. Let's face it, you want to learn content creation. Why must you travel to go and meet a man? There are many that you can get it on YouTube. There are schools, physical schools that teach that. I only want to bring out a point that let the girl also take responsibility. let the family also take responsibility. There's something we do when we go into the correctional center under the Sycamore 2 project. We tell them there is active responsibility, there is passive responsibility. Look at what you also caused, what you created. Yes, somebody raped you. The person should take responsibility. But in all of this, what were your own? What were the factors that you contributed into it? And take responsibility for that. I am coming from that angle. I want the government to do what is right. I want a situation whereby even if you know you fell out of line, you traveled from Lagos to Abuja, despite the fact that all your friends said, don't go, don't go, don't go, but you decided to go. And you got to Abuja and you found out that you are in a delicate situation. You should be able to make a call to say, Pam, I am here. This man is trying to rape me, or this man, I feel threatened. I think something is wrong somewhere. Please, can you come and help me? You understand? I believe that once you trigger that thing of somebody should be there to come and help you, that is the system I look forward to. But before that system comes in place, can we protect our girls? And can the girls also protect themselves? Don't step out of line. You know, there is something God has given us, intuition. Intuition. That thing will come to say, be careful. When you get that, can you just pause and hold and trust God in all this? I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. But hey, we just want to protect our girls. Now she's 6 feet down. What can we do? And I hope that they will support this family in the sense that justice has to be done, so that other men, other boys will learn from it. Whoever you are, content creation, or whatever it is that you raped an innocent girl. You took advantage of her. You deceived her. You know, I'm sure by the time they go to the police station, they will reel out maybe 40 things that this man did. You understand? And the man should go for it. It should go and face the law. What kind of begging are you begging? If somebody who, in fact, the man has committed suicide, as far as I'm concerned, made the girl to die. Made the girl to die. So there's a whole lot of offense. So what is this begging that she's begging? Let him go. Let him go and face it in jail. That one will teach other people a lesson too. I like to stop here. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for your submission, Bukola. It was a lot. I actually agree with what you and Susan said.
There was something you didn't agree with.
Yeah, when she said 22, 23-year-olds, their mental capacity. I don't recall the exact word she used. I didn't agree because I fall in that age bracket now. I mean, I have
No. Get me.
Book is responding to you.
I said, I said the girl is 20. In terms of her reasoning and mental capability to put two and two things together, she might not be able to get it. Then I said, I know somebody is thinking somewhere that somebody is 23 and the person is married. I'm just trying to put things together because I know some people will say, I'm 20, oh, you're born now. I'm 23, which I'm your call. But because you are 23, 24 does not mean that all your mental faculties are ripe. That's what I'm saying. It depends on your experiences, it depends on your exposure, it depends on your background. And that's why I said a 20-year-old still needs to be protected. I hope you get the gist now. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Colon Shama Shanua.
You've been saying Kolon Shama
Like since
Shama.
joining, yes. Because honestly, if you really think about it, you can go crazy.
Yes.
You really can go crazy. You know, there was something that Buki said that really, really resonated with me, which was that when she left, she did not, was it Susan or Buki, one of them, that she didn't tell her twin sister. And I paused.
Okay,
I
it
was like, hold
was
on.
Bookie.
I was like, hold on a minute. Like, and I'm not, this is not me blaming the victim. I think that the point I'm trying to say is, if somebody tells you to come somewhere and you already, the moment you begin to have a restraint
Mm-hmm.
in your spirit, whatever it is in your guts, that restraint is what is protecting you from getting harmed. So, and this is to every young girl who's listening to us this morning. Somebody says, come, I will help you. You feel a restraint. You're like,
Yes.
don't go. This is not that you are second guessing yourself. This is not imposter syndrome. Don't go. Because the closest person to this person is her twin sister, and she didn't tell her twin sister. So is it possible that she knew that? But sometimes you're like, let me just go. Like, no. You're trying, you're thinking on behalf of that person that's about to harm you, that the person is not going to harm you.
Yes.
The moment you begin to think that the person is going to harm you, they are going to harm you. That's number one. Number two, this is to parents. We've turned our children into breadwinners, into providers. And this is not to say, I'm not getting into the conversation of should we take care of our parents. That's not what it is. Yes, we've seen a lot of young people, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds, who've been able to succeed and be financially comfortable, and they're taking care of their family. That's good. But I fear that sometimes that pressure, sometimes the pressure is visible, sometimes it isn't. That pressure that we put on our children, I say on my children and babies, that our parents put on us, have made a lot of us go into things that we cannot tell a third person or a second person because of that pressure. Who will take care of? You're just 21. Your life is just starting. I don't think there's any reason why you should put pressure on yourself to, what is it that I should call it, to do those kinds of things. And I don't think that it is fair to that child for the parent to do that to them as well.
I guess I'm the least pressured person I
No,
know.
we're not talking about you. But our final word, Susan, final word. Oh, Susan just left the call. Bookie, final word before we go. Today has been
Okay,
very interesting.
final word, we've mentioned it. We are creating a safe community. And in creating a safe community, all hands have to be on deck. And when we talk about nation building, we talk about the seven critical sectors, right? Government has to perform, right? Education also has something to do with it. I'm not sure with all these things that we are talking, I'm not sure if they have been able to address that, even from primary school. A primary school student should know what is sexual harassment, to say that if somebody is doing this to you, where is that number to call? We should get to that point. We should get to that point. And then, of course, I'm talking about religion. Where are we? What are we saying? What are we doing? If you find that, if you investigate now, I'm sure this boy goes to church, or he has actually gone to church. You understand? And it's not just church. We talk about mosque as well, or any other religious body. I am saying, because of these things that are happening, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then the family. Then, of course, talk about the media. I know we are doing great at WFM, but can we also begin to create content? I mean, for those who are creating content, to begin to get people to understand the implication of things. The issue of you saying no, even when you have started intimacy, is big abroad. There was somebody that a Nigerian went over there. They had started, there was a Nigerian that invited this lady. She came, she went to the house, they ate, and they said, okay, let's go and rest. And they rested in the bedroom. And something happened, whatever. Well, they started, and then all of a sudden, the lady said, no, stop. The man said, no, after all, Niger sense. You came, I invited you, you came all the way. And you're now telling me, no, 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 no. For Niger men, they believe that when you say no, is yes. The man went to jail. Oh, he was the one who came back to Nigeria and told us the story. He went to jail for it.
He said he never knew. He said he never knew. It was an offense. That he thought it was a joke. When the lady said, I'm going to report you, that he thought it was a joke. Until he saw himself in the prisons. That when the lady says no, he means stop. Irrespective of whatever you are doing at that time. So we need that education, we need that awareness here in Nigeria, because we can't just be talking about it and government will not do anything about it. Thank you.
All right, we've come to the end of HerLens this morning. Today was fiery. I got quite heated, but it's all for the good of the women, basically. Thank you so much, Buki, for coming on the program today. Catch you tomorrow, same time, 9